guys, what's going on? Phil here. Wanted to bring you something a little bit different today. As you saw in the intro, we had a bit of a fall from grace in the standard game mode. But in the meantime, to try to, untilt from that experience, I've decided to delve into Wild with what is considered the newest, kinda bad high roll deck. Um, it's made it's pioneered by the same guys who made the original Naga Sea Giant list way back before, Naga Sea Giant got nerfed to 8 mana. Um, that deck was like the Scourge of Wild. It was nigh on impossible to beat without a perfect hand, and its combo was very easy to assemble. This deck, from my limited testing, is not nearly as powerful, but it's still a fairly good high roll deck. There's a lot going on that, even if you're not able to combo off in the first, 5-6 turns, you still have a couple legs to stand on, especially since this particular version that I've found runs the Archfield and Rafam. So in the worst case scenario, you just don't combo off, you try to stay alive with some of your demons and stuff, and then you can Rafam and just drop big threats. So the basic combo is you get the combination of Blood Bloom, Rafam Scheme, or Fiendish Circle, and Darkest Hour into your hand. That allows you to create a bunch of 1/1 imps, and then Blood Bloom out the Darkest Hour, which will kill all your 1/1s and replace them with the giant threats that you have in your deck. Basically, you get one giant swing turn, and your opponent has, one chance to react to it. But something that makes it very hard to react to, even in the later stages of the game, where you'd have to worry about stuff like Light Bomb, Psychic Scream, Twisting Nether, things of that nature. You run double Nerubian Unraveler, so you end up pulling these guys out. All spells cost 2 more, but, you've already gone off for your turn, so that doesn't affect you, and it just means that your opponent is their resources are very strained. So, basically, you're just trying to win, as soon as you get that combo. If you don't get that combo, your game plan becomes a little bit more difficult, but yeah, it's fairly straightforward once you see how it's done. It can be a little bit difficult to grasp, without seeing it function. So what we're gonna do is hop in, play a couple games, and see if this is anywhere near, as bad as Naga Giants were. Alright, this is the first game. Definitely ignore the 0-1. Definitely ignore the fact that I'm seeing if we're playing it's the same guy or not. So yeah, don't worry, this is the first match. Alright, so we're going to mulligan for combo pieces, because that's all that really matters. And we're going to hope to avoid minions. Alright, so we have one combo piece. We have Plot Twist if we draw a ton of our big minions. Plot Twist is really good to get. I wouldn't say that you keep it typically, but it never feels bad to have, because if you just don't draw particularly well, then you have a chance to go for the redraw. Ancient Watcher, so it looks like we're going to be playing its Silence Priest. I think that if we're able to combo off, so all we're looking for is Blood. There it is. Oh, buddy. We have to go off on, turn 4 with the coin. Ooh. Yep, alright. So, Silence Priest on turn 4 is not going to have an answer to this. In the meantime, I'm just going to kill off his minion. And next turn we will be summoning 4 giant minions from our deck. And really the only low roll is if we get double Void Caller. Alright. Do I want to wait? I could potentially go Corrupting Mist and wait a turn, but then I take 7. Taking 7 is potentially dangerous, especially if he's running Divine Spirits and stuff. Yeah, I think it's too greedy. So we're going to summon 4, we're going to coin the Blood Bloom, we're going to take 6 damage and Darkest Hour, and we'll see what we get. We got Yashar's, that's great, we got a Nerubian, 1 Void Color's okay because it'll pull our other Void Lord, and we got some Taunt. So this was really, really good. We get to pull a Lich King off that too. Unfortunately it doesn't, trigger, but the Lich King card is not really going to matter. This is basically the God high roll. The earliest you can go off, unless you have double Blood Bloom, is turn 4 with coin. Turn 5 without coin. If you have double Blood Bloom, you can go off on turn 4, but good luck with that. That is definitely not a very common occurrence. So you might be tempted sometimes to like to trade for whatever reason. But you have to remember, like, to play around AoE spells or Psychic Scream and stuff like that, you have to remember that you have Nerubian Unraveler, and so all spells are going to cost 2 more, which means something like Psychic Scream currently is unplayable, because they actually cost 11, and, you know, he's only on 6 mana to begin with. But yeah, that's a 4 mana silence. So this was essentially the best showcase of the deck that we could have had. And this is why, you know, this list is touted as the new Giants. I think it was Giants Druid mainly, and like Giants Warlock, but just Naga Sea Witch in general. Back before that was nerfed was like the worst thing you could possibly play against in Wild, and when you're able to actually go off, this mirrors that like pretty alarmingly. It's really, really strong. The only issue is, one, your combo's a lot less reliable, and that is a pretty major issue. There was one game that I recorded, you know, previous to that match we just saw, which is why I was 0-1. No one saw that, don't worry. Where we just didn't draw any combo, and we never got to play a card, and we died on turn, like, 6. So, that happens, and with stuff like Naga Sea Giants, that was a lot less likely. So it's not as strong in that respect, because you have to have a lot of combo pieces, and even if you do go off, if you go off into a more later game turn, so like upwards of turn 6, if you don't pull those Nerubian Unravelers, you can just get AoE'd out, and you just kind of lose the game. So there's a lot of little things you have to watch out for when playing this deck, which are all things that come with practice. And maybe I'll throw in the match that we lost earlier, you know, somewhere into this video, just to show there were like pretty nuanced decisions that I just didn't know how to like go about. I just went about it really poorly because I wasn't, you know, really sure what to do. Um, we get to go off pretty soon again. Alright, so in this game we also get to go off on turn 4. So, wow. We can... Nah, I mean, it actually doesn't matter that we drew double Blood Bloom, but it's just kind of cool. So we go Reform Scheme, Coin, top decked Blood Bloom, just to piss him off, Darkest Hour. Cool. So, this is one of the cases where if we were against something like Priest or Warlock, if we were in a later stage of the game, this would have been very poor, because we have none of those Unravelers like I was just talking about. But on turn 5 against Mage, they don't really have anything that full wipes a board. We actually got a fairly low roll off of this, which is kind of surprising. But he will, if he runs it, he will be able to Blizzard us on 6 before we get the Nerubian out. But then we can play the Nerubian. Oh, it only dealt 4. That's unfortunate for him. So see, this is the problem. If you don't roll your Nerubians off of that, your combo becomes like a lot less scary. Ooh, so I want to play this next turn, but I also want to plot twist. But I think that getting this out next turn is more important than plot twisting right now. So we're going to hold. Yes, that was expected. And now, Water Elemental. That's kind of annoying, but it's not the biggest deal, and we're just going to make spells cost more. Woo! And we are just on the Smork plan. Because now that his spells cost 2 more, we don't have to worry about AoE nearly as much. He actually had a fairly decent response. Our pull was pretty bad. That's another reason, you know, we were talking right before this game about why Naga Sea Giants was so much better. It was just so much more consistent. It always had this basically the same amount of stats. 8/8s are a lot more difficult to kill than kind of these random minions with very low attack that we run. But in the event that you're against an aggro deck, you really do need like the chance at Void Caller, Sacrificial Pact into Void Lord, stuff like that. So that's why you still run these cards, even though they may not be exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so this this looks like a setup for Blizzard, which, you know, kind of unfortunately implosioned into it, but I think that just trying to push as fast as possible and trying to end the game is our win con. But yeah, this combo is just not nearly as consistent, and even when it goes off, it's not as good. So that's why it's kind of cemented itself as tier 2 in the wild scene. I have very little experience in wild, so I could be completely wrong, but that has been the consensus that I've seen throughout forums, so it's what I'm gonna relay to you guys. This deck has performed, but not excelled, is the way that I would put it. I think it's definitely an interesting concept, though. There is a clip around of, I think, Nostum trying this kind of deck in standard, with like just like a ton of really bad charge minions, and it worked, and that's why the clip is around. But like, this is basically only possible because Blood Bloom is really broken. Oh my god, I think Mal'Ganis is lethal. Yep, best top deck. Let's go. Alright, so that was a good game, I think. Like, it's great we won, but I think that was good specifically for the video because we got to see in practice what happens when you don't get exactly the high roll you want. It helped us a lot that we drew into our Nerubian Unravelers after we failed to pull them with the Darkest Hour. I think if we hadn't had that happen, then that game could have gone a very different direction. Dragon's Fury has just rotated to Wild at the making of this video, so I don't play Wild, so it's kind of hard for me to differentiate what to play around. Especially because that guy was running like Water Elemental, and like I don't think that that's standard in any Wild list. That's one of the perils of going into rank 14 and, you know, trying to, I don't know, maybe that's a bad comparison. I'm just gonna drop that point. Alright, so this hand is pretty garbo. Since it's garbo, I'm going to keep the plot twist just in case and throw back everything else looking for combo pieces. So this is pretty bad. Double plot twist doesn't matter. Nerubian we don't want, and Darkest Hour it's a combo piece, but like 1 out of 3 combo pieces is not gonna be enough to carry us through the game. The most important combo piece is Blood Bloom for sure, because you can get away with either Fiendish Circle or Reform Scheme, but like this deck doesn't work nearly as well without Blood Bloom to have this combo go off early. If you just did this combo on turn 9 or turn 10, like who really cares? That is not enough of a payoff. So Blood Bloom is like the only instant keep in the deck, I think, and everything else is kind of variable, kind of touchy-feely how you feel after you've played some games with it. That's one of the pitfalls of me not having like so much experience with the list. I can't tell you for certain what the best cards to keep are. Combo pieces are probably good. If you think you're gonna be against an aggro matchup, then keeping like Void Caller, Sack Pack, Void Lord might be okay. That's kind of the reason they're in the deck. Oh, we found the Blood Bloom. Alright, this hand is coming together. All we need to find is like a Fiendish Circle. Reform Scheme gets considerably worse when you're top decking it, but I would still take one. Not gonna lie, I would still be happy to see one come out. So we're looking specifically for those 2 cards. And then if our opponent plays a minion, Implosion kind of works too. I know the early lists didn't run any Implosion, and they started running 1 Implosion, and then now this list that I'm running, I got this one just off HS Replay because it's been about a week since that initial post, and so I think that list that I was originally using is a little bit outdated. And this runs 2 Implosion, which is probably for the exact reason that sometimes you don't draw the exact combo pieces you need, and having just another imp generator to then go off is really good, because there's a lot of decks that play minions. So like if this guy plays a minion next turn, or in the next 2 turns, then we can combo off, and that's really, really good for us. So still no minion is a little bit concerning. We actually don't want to play anything. I kind of want to keep my coin. I can risk just overdrawing, I guess, and hoping he plays a minion. Because if I don't keep coin, then I can't actually go off next turn if he plays a minion. Yes! Okay. So we're against something hella weird. I don't know what he's doing. But we get to high roll 4. 3, I'll take it. Blood Bloom, Darkest Hour. Oh, those are like the best 3. And we get a 4th. Nice. And that'll put a Void Lord. Okay. So this is only bad in the case he has Vanish. Don't have Vanish. No Vanish one time? Because we can play Unraveler next turn if he doesn't have Vanish. Yes. Alright. So we're against some sort of N'Zoth deck. Fairly obviously. Death to the traitors. Yeah. So that, you know, that was another another good highlight, that even if you high roll, if you don't get those Unravelers, there's a chance that many classes can still react to you. Off the top of my head, Rogue has Vanish, Psychic Scream, and Light Bomb in Priest, Twisting Nether in Warlock, Dragon's Fury, Blizzard, stuff like that in Mage. Paladin has Equality clears if they still run Equality at 4 mana. Hunter you're pretty safe against. Hunter I'll give you that you don't need the Unravelers. Shaman, Volcano probably isn't enough. So Shaman, you're most cases you're good against Shaman actually. I think that's all the class. I think I'm missing one class. Oh yeah, Druid you're pretty good. Like Druid can have Spreading Plague, which slows you down, but that's not nearly as much of an issue. So knowing your matchups like that is important, and you can take that calculated risk on whether or not to, you know, go off knowing that you might have an Unraveler in your hand, or knowing that your From scheme is only getting like 3 minions, or your Implosion only gets you 3 minions. Lots of little things to learn about the list. So I'm going to keep these two. This, I now consider Implosion a combo piece. I hadn't actually realized that synergy until we got at that game. So going forward, I would definitely consider keeping Implosion in my opening hands. And then I also keep Plot Twist just in case we don't draw anything else. Baku Mage, alright. I wonder if he's more control or more aggro. I would presume he's the more control version, just because in Wild you have access to Frostless Jaina still, and that card's busted. But I'm also not sure what kind of aggressive tools Wild, you know, offers this deck, so it might just be better to go full on aggro, who knows. Alright, so we have not found really any combo. I'm going to tap this turn to get a larger Plot Twist. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, so I'm looking at Corrupting Mist this turn, and then I think next turn I will Plot Twist. The problem is I don't really want to shuffle a coin into my deck, so maybe I should have just coin Plot Twisted. I'm not positive there. He could draw a card off his 1-2. Yeah. That's 200 IQ. That's 200 IQ there, bro. Whew. Good shit. You're just playing that out? Interesting. Yeah, so this is looking like a Plot Twist turn, because we don't have any combo pieces. Okay, so we found a Blood Bloom. We found a Scheme. We don't have a Darkest Hour yet. Ooh, we drew 2 minions, 3 minions. Ooh. Alright. So, this was not perfect, but Deck of Wonders. Okay, so we're against a real weird thing. What we can do is go Void Lord, Sack Pack, and take out a Mal'Ganis. Is this a demon? No. Yeah. So this is our play for now. Make him deal with this. And then we're just hoping to draw into Darkest Hour. Seems like a game plan. I think the Void Callers are really good. Even though, like, in the best case scenario where you combo out, like, obviously you don't want to pull a Void Caller majority of the time, but it gives your other scenarios just a lot more of a fight. Because without this play here, like, I don't know what we would have done this turn. It would have been pretty bad. I mean, it's not like he has a lot of pressure, but, like, that still would have felt pretty bad. Second Void Caller. So I can get a free tap in, or I can make his spells cost more. I'll take a free tap. Ooh. Okay. I like this a lot. So this requires him to have something like Flame Strike, which we're not even sure if he runs. I would presume he runs it, but you never know. And then he's Odd Mage, so he can't have anything like Blizzard, which would slow this down. So I think his only out is Dragon's Fury or Flame Strike. Obviously, finding a way to kill the Mal'Ganis would help a lot too, but... Last wave, okay. Well, now if we get Darkest Hour, we get 4 minions. Darkest Hour, nope. I'm gonna tap for Darkest Hour. Oh, we don't have coin. Oh, but we have Blood Bloom. So yeah, tap for Darkest Hour. Didn't find it. Feels pretty bad. We'll just Void Caller here. He might be scared to proc it. Just because he doesn't want to deal with a Void Lord, a Doom Guard. Alright, that's kinda nice. Bring it on. I think that's good for us. That means we have a 4 mana Nerubian. Like, the other discounts are cool, but I think the biggest thing there is the 4 mana Nerubian. Because his deck seems to be based around, you know, quite a few spells. For being Odd Mage, I'm surprised at how many spell, you know, interaction cards we've seen. So, I think overall that's definitely better for us. Yeah, see, he's scared of that, so he's gonna freeze it. That feels really good for us, because we actually have no use for that right now. Okay, that seems a little questionable. I don't really understand that part. So I think we're just on the game plan of the combo is not worth it anymore. So we're just going to keep playing big minions and figure out what to do from there. 1, 2, 3. So we will Defile, get a Void Lord out, and also play Lich King this turn. We're just going to play all of our minions and then Archthief for Fom and hope that Infinite Threats can win the game. Ooh, we get to steal a card too. That can be pretty strong. I'm not quite sure what we want from his deck. Maybe Jan'alai. Jan'alai would be cool. Jan'alai would be pretty sick. I presume he runs Zola as well, so Zola would be pretty nice. Rip Lich King. That's okay. Oh, it's created by, okay. I was like, that's a very interesting inclusion. Yeah, so at this point this doesn't do a lot. We can get 1, 2, 3. I mean, that seems pretty good actually. Do I want to Blood Bloom it out and take 6? Not particularly. So I'm just going to go like this. 3, 6. So I think we get some 1/3s and then we'll fill our board. All spells now cost more as well. And so this should be pretty hard for him now. He could have second Voodoo Doll for my Yasharj. Our Mal'Ganis has died, so our Voidwalkers really don't matter. But nice to have. Meteor from Tome. Dang, that's unlucky. Oh my god, and he got to clear the Unraveler, alright. That was really unfortunate for us. I think I'm going to start with this just to steal the resource from him. Ooh. I don't actually want this. But we're just going to transform it anyway. So we're going to start with, like, this. Do I want to draw a card? Not really. Yeah, so I'm just going to play this. I see no reason to waste all my resources into that, so I'm going to pass. Alright, so we played another fairly good sized taunt and cleared off one of those guys, but that's fine. This turn, I think I want to re-roll this to not have it, so I'm just going to Arch Thief for 5. Raza. Whizbang. Do we have any mechs? Nope. Tess. Will cast any class cards that any class legendaries. So I guess that means we play Raza. So our Tess will at least cast another Raza. I'm gonna keep this alive as long as possible, so I'm just gonna go like that. Because we have no spells left. Oh. Well, he has Jan'alai in his hand, so we never could have stolen his Jan'alai anyways. 9 mana Flame Strike, okay. I think he should have traded into the Void Lord first to clear my 1/3s, but that's fine by me. Misplays all around, let's go. Oh my god, another Lich King. Let's go. 1, 2, face. This goes face because I want him to waste a ping on it. Do I want to hit here? I don't really see a reason to. So I'm going to go like that. Anti-magic shell is kind of meh. But, you know, maybe good. Who knows? I don't see a great use for it, but they could help with stabilizing. Oh, Spiteful. I did not expect to see Spiteful. I'm also very surprised he didn't just play Jan'alai. It may not be active, but I assumed it was active. So if he doesn't ping away my 5/1... Yeah, that's the 5/1 I was referring to. Alright, he figured it out. So I can go 4/2/4, and that feels pretty good. Just because I get extra buffs. This unfortunately draws, which gets closer to fatigue, but that's mostly fine. I think I want to kill this actually. Yeah. Because nothing can be targeted, so that means that he can't ping that away. He also can't double trade ping my Lich King. Ooh, getting the 15 damage from Frostmourne is pretty good. Saw that coming. So we're hoping for that to hit the Blood Mage. Blood Mage one time. I mean, you're not going to be trading, so just pass. Rit. Oh, he's going for the potential to kill that, I see. Damn, and he got it. It worked out for him. That was pretty smart, I didn't consider that. Alright, so I kinda want to play Swamp King and maybe just an Auction Master. Boom, boom. This goes face all the time. This time I'm scared of this getting Zola'd, but I think that we don't play around Zola. At this point we just need to finish the game as fast as possible. Oh my god, our Test is going to play at Dread now too, if we're not dead. Bearing in mind Ragnaros, and that sets us, so assuming Rag hits us, we're at 11, so he can set us to 1. So he actually, I think his best play was to Alex us, and then go for the 1 in however many to get the Rag shot, the 1 in 6. Because he could have Alex'd us, hit us with both his minions, then gone for the 1 in 6. At this point, I think he just loses. Depends on what the Rag hits, but... Ooh. Alright, so this actually worked out for him. You know what, maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. I think that I'm really looking at this Test, though. It plays at least a Dread and a Raza, so that's good enough for me. Oh shit, I didn't know it casted those still. I had no idea that it would recast the Lich King cards. You play every card from another class. Is it because I played it as a Warlock? Because I'm pretty sure that Lich King cards are considered neutral. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's because I played it as a Warlock that the code runs it as a Warlock card. Because I'm almost positive that if you run both Tess and Lich King in an actual deck, that the test, like in an actual rogue deck, the test will not recast Lich King cards unless that was like a stealth patch note that never was released or that I missed. I'm almost positive that's not how that should have interacted though. This thread's pretty funny. All right. So cool. Oh, we could have gotten a Flark. Ooh, Medivh. Boom. I don't know who's messaging me, and I can't see over the overlay, but that's all right. That was a pretty good game. I have really good luck. Whenever I'm trying to try hard ladder on videos, I go 0-4 to start a video. But whenever I'm just trying to show a deck, we get really varied games that all show different like sides of the deck. So we saw the combo go off really quick and like perfectly. We saw the combo go off really quick, not so perfect, and then we got to see a game where we get like an edge case where Rafam just wins you the match. So that was really, I'm really like happy with how that turned out. Before before we end the video, I will show the list one more time. This is what I found to be the most updated version. If you're looking for a more updated one, I would suggest HS Replay or checking the competitive Hearthstone subreddit, or even potentially the main Hearthstone subreddit. I'm fairly certain that the Reddit users that first pioneered this deck, they made a post on the actual Reddit as well. But if you just go to the either Hearthstone or the competitive Hearthstone and you search Darkest Hour Warlock, their post will probably be the first one to pop up. It might even be the only one to pop up, because this is a card that has seen very little experimentation. But it's very interesting. I think if you're looking for a really fun deck to play in Wild that has a lot of different ways that games can go, but also has that little bit of like a big priest high roll factor to where sometimes you just win games on turn 4, then this is the deck for you. I think that it's a lot safer to keep in the game than something like Naga Giants was, so I don't expect any of this to be nerfed in the near future. And I think that if you're gonna go for like very high rolly, big tempo plays, this is the kind of style of deck that should be encouraged. I'm not sure that this was like ever play tested. This took some serious theory crafting from whoever the guys over at the Comp Hearthstone that made up this list. I don't know how you even imagined this, because I never would have come up with this synergy. But props to them. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Make sure to go down below, click the Discord link, join the Discord. You can ask for coaching sessions, any help with decks, video announcements, stuff like that. While you're down there, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.